Victory at Verrado has the lowest median age of any age-restricted community in the entire Phoenix area, which many consider to be its greatest strength. But just like any other community, it has its fair share of drawbacks or cons to living in the community. In this video, I'm going to go over 3 drawbacks to Victory at Verrado, reasons why you should not move here, and 3 pros or reasons why you should move here to Victory at Verrado. But before I do that, I've got to tell you about my completely free 55+ community guide that goes over all of the different 55+ communities here in the greater Phoenix area so that you can make sure you don't miss out on any of them. It has a map that plots out all the communities so you can know location-wise where they all are. It has a 1-page summary of each of them, and at the end it has a spreadsheet that compares all of the different statistics that you would care about, like home prices, HOA fees, and what amenities each community has. If you'd like this, shoot me a text, call, or email. My information is on the screen and I can send it your way. I always start my videos with the cons or the worst parts of the community because these are things that you might not have heard before. Starting off with the first con of the video, the cell service. The cell service here in Victory at Verrado is not the best. And the main reason for that is the developer here in Victory at Verrado does not like the aesthetic factor that cell towers bring to communities. I know that sounds crazy, but he does not like the look of these big, ugly cell towers, taking away from all of the natural beauty of the White Tank Mountains and all of these nice, beautiful homes that he has developed here in the community. So he has not permitted any cell towers to be built within Victory at Verrado. So how all residents are getting their cell service now is just from service boosters from outside of the community. So there are streets of the community that have great cell service and you wouldn't tell the difference, but then there are some streets that just do not have any cell service. So it is very spotty driving through the community. Obviously, when you move into your home, you have Wi-Fi enabled calling, so you'll be able to take calls from your home, no issue, and they have access to high-speed internet within the community. But that cell service when you're driving throughout the community is spotty. And while there are rumors that the developer will eventually give way to a cell tower being built and they'll disguise it as a palm tree or something more pretty for the community, there are no set in stone plans, and I wouldn't want you to make a decision moving to a community in hopes that a cell tower is eventually built and they just never end up building one. Now, the next con to Victory at Verrado are the home prices. I would not consider Victory at Verrado a very affordable community. The absolute cheapest home you could possibly purchase within Victory at Verrado is going to be about a 1,200 to 1,100 square foot townhome, so you'll share one wall with a neighbor. And this home is starting in the high 300,000s. I'm talking about 380 to 390, all the way up into about 420,000. So high 300,000s, low 400,000s for a 1,200 square foot townhome. That's a lot more expensive than some of these other communities where you can spend $400,000 and get an 1,800 square foot home. I'm going to talk about the reason why Victory at Verrado is so much more expensive than some of these other communities when I talk about the pros and the actual good parts of the community. If you're looking for an 1,800 square foot to 2,000 square foot home in Victory at Verrado, be prepared to spend about $700,000 to $800,000. You won't be on the nicest lot either. It's tough to get on the golf course in that price range or get a pool in that price range. It is possible, but there are a lot less options and you might not be getting quite everything you want. However, if you are shopping in that 800, 900, maybe $1 million price range, you will get some very beautiful homes here in Victory at Verrado. They started developing the community in 2016, so every home in the community is going to have those newer floor plans, more open floor plans, newer finishes, and the street feel driving through, seeing all these great homes with great curb appeal really is second to none. So while it is an expensive community to crack into, if you are shopping in those higher price ranges, it won't be an issue. Now, the third and final con I'll be talking about is the lack of amenities. And I know it sounds crazy because you've heard all these great things about Victory's amenities, and that's actually one of the pros I'll be talking about, is they have the most luxurious amenities I have seen in any 55+ community. But they just don't have a whole lot of them. They do not have an indoor pool. They have some club rooms that are rented out for all of their different clubs. They've got over 45 different clubs, which is a good amount of clubs. But when you compare Victory at Verrado to, say, Pebble Creek blows Victory at Verrado out of the water when it comes to club. They've got over 100 clubs. They've got billiard rooms. They've got all these different ways to get involved in the community. Victory at Verrado has a lot of ways to get involved in the community. They still have an art studio and a very nice restaurant, a state-of-the-art fitness center, very nice outdoor pools and pickleball courts, but they just don't have quite as much as you'll see in some other communities. Now, the amenities that they do have, like I'll talk about in the pros section, are very luxurious. I mentioned they started developing in 2016, so the clubhouse is very up to date. It sits on the top of this hill, great views of the White Tank Mountains. So if you are a quantity over quality type of person and you're looking for the sheer number of pickleball courts, indoor pools, and clubs, then consider this a con. But if you are more of a quality over quantity person, then I'd like to talk about the first pro of this video, which is going to be how luxurious the amenities are. I had just mentioned, you will not see any better mountain views in the entire Phoenix area from a clubhouse than the Victory Club. It sits right on top of this hill. You're looking over the driving range. You're looking at Tiger Mountain. And I was just touring the clubhouse with a couple of clients the other day, and one of them said, man, this feels like I am in Dubai. They have this tri-level pool right here with zero edge, and it's very aesthetically pleasing, and you still get those views of the White Tank Mountains with these palm trees and the turf around. It just sets for a great scene, and there is not another clubhouse out there with quite the scene that this one has. The second pro I am going to talk about, I mentioned in the introduction of this video, is it has the lowest median age of any age-restricted community in the Phoenix area. I've had clients pick this community strictly based off that fact. A lot of newly retired people, or a lot of times people who aren't even retired, buy homes in Victory at Verrado when they're starting this new stage of life. So it's easy to meet people in your same age range. Clients have told me in the past they're scared of buying a home in one of these age-restricted communities and quote unquote always being around old people, and that's why people will choose this community. You're entering this stage of life along with all of these other people that are the same age as you. Whether you're snowbirding or living here full time, it will be easy to meet people in the same age range as you if you are newly retired, and it's not an issue that any of my past clients who live here in Victory at Verrado have brought up after they move into the community. And the third and final pro I'll talk about in Victory at Verrado is something that, again, no other age-restricted community has, and it's access to that Main Street area at Verrado. So Victory is actually an age-restricted section of a much larger community called Verrado, and Verrado has this very unique Main Street area where there's a ton of different shops and restaurants. They're opening up bars and wine bars down there as well. They've got these string lights, a very green and lush courtyard that they hold different events at, and it's only about 1.5 miles away from the Victory Clubhouse. So that's about a 10-minute golf cart drive. You can take the golf cart all the way down there. I have had people tell me in the past that the Main Street area is what sold them on the community. There is just nothing quite like it. And when you drive through that area, you see all these tree-lined streets and all of these very nice little bars and restaurants. And it's just something that sets Victory at Verrado apart from a lot of these other age-restricted communities. So as you can see, Victory at Verrado has its fair share of pros of living in the community, but it also has its fair share of cons living in the community. So it's something that you need to weigh out and decide if Victory at Verrado is going to be the community for you. If you are planning a move to the greater Phoenix area, I'd love to help you out with that. My name is Caden Liali. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in the greater Phoenix area. I've got that 55 plus community guide for you as well. Reach out to me. My name and number are on the screen and I can send it your way. With all that being said, I will see you in the next video.